If you're like me, one of your favorite parts about quilting is the fabric. So let's go ahead and add some fabric to our stash. We're in our sewing room. We're going to go ahead and click on Stash. And then we can go over here and click Add Fabric to your stash. This is just one of the ways that you can add fabric to your stash. To add fabric to your stash, you need to find some fabric. There are 3 ways to add fabric from this box right here. You can either just start typing and see what comes up. You can search on the magnifying glass and look in our existing database, or you can create new fabric and reference it to your stash. That fabric that you create will be added to the database. Let's go ahead and search for fabric. Now, I know I wanted Moda marbles, so that's pretty cool. Let's apply that. And I'm pretty sure I would like to narrow down this search just a little bit more to the color that I'm looking for, which is beeswax. So I'll go ahead and search for that, and here we go, beeswax. We can see that it's in the category of texture. The fabric type is a quilter's cotton. Here's a small image of what the fabric looks like so we can make sure it's what we're looking for. And finally, we can click here. It has added the fabric name to the fabric name field in our stash. If we wanted to, we could just leave it at that, scroll down to the bottom of the page, and be sure to hit Save. However, if I'm adding fabric to my stash, I kind of want to know a little bit more about it. For example, how much of the Moda Marbles beeswax do I have on hand? I at least have 2 yards. And did I buy yardage or charm packs or what? I know I bought 2 yards, but I could have changed it to each or pack or that quarter. So let's say 2 each of charm pack, or 2 yards of yardage. So that's how that information works. Where did you purchase it? You know, sometimes I can't remember where I bought anything, to be completely honest with you. So it would be beneficial for me, in case I needed more of this fabric, to type in the name of the sewing store I got it from. Did you notice that I started to type the name of the store? Because I know I've already added it. Therefore, it shows up in the drop-down box. And I just go ahead and click on it from here. If I knew that my store did not exist, then I could click the plus sign and add it to the database. Similarly to the way we could have clicked here and added a new fabric to the database. Fabric, store. What date did I purchase it on? It will always default to the current date. Let's say I purchased it on the 1st of March, and I bought 2 yards, and I paid a total of $10 for it. Wow, I got a great deal. And what do I have to say about this fabric? I have a whole slew of ways that I could edit this information, but I think I'm just going to say, I love, if I could type, I love. I'm having a problem with my L. I love this fabric. Don't forget, always scroll down and click the Save button. Oh, look! Stash Moda Marbles Beeswax has been created. This way we know for sure that we hit Save correctly and everything is great. You can always hit edit and go back and change any of those details. For example, if you used half a yard of this fabric, you might want to go back in and change the amount on hand to 1.5 yards. We don't use fractions, we use decimals. Now, what's this down here? Click for more information. If I click on there, this takes us to a page that was created in our database. You'll note that we did not add this fabric, we simply chose this fabric. And look at that, we have it stashed. It tells us right here. We can look at our stash details from this page. We have stashed 2 yards. We know it was yardage. And we know when we purchased it. From this page, you can find similar fabrics scrolling around the bottom. You can also search for anything that is blue and where your indicator goes from an arrow to a hand. What do we have over here? Projects. If we click on the Projects tab, it will show us any project that used Moda Marble Beeswax. Then we can go ahead and click on that particular project and see what else that user, fellow member in this social community called SeamedUP, plans to do with that same fabric that we own. Well, it looks like there's going to be an owl somewhere in this bicycle and watermelons and stars pattern. The user, Queen of Everything, made it to hang on the wall in the living room. It's going to be a king-size quilt. What's the status of the project? Where is Queen of Everything at? Well, she plans on starting it soon. Looks like it's a difficulty rating of 3. And she started today. Let's see about the details of the fabric that she used in this project. Not only did she use the beeswax that we added to our stash, but she used the wisteria color as well. She figures the project will require 3 yards, cost $5. Well, that's a good price. She bought it from Almasu's Quilt Shop, and for more information about this fabric, you can click here. So let's go ahead and click right here and see if we can add it to our own stash. Click Add to Stash from this page, and then it brings us back to our sewing room where we can say we purchased 1 yard. It was yardage. We bought it from Fran's Sewing Circle. We paid $9. We didn't get as good a price as she did. And we are going to be sure to hit save. And now that stash has been created. So if we go ahead and look in our sewing room, we see now from the front page of our sewing room that we have also stashed wisteria. And if we look in the stash itself, we now have 2 fabrics here. One we found by searching the database, and the other we found happenstance by looking at projects that somebody was making with this fabric and decided to add the other one to our stash. So as you can see, there are many ways to navigate through SeamedUP.com. But always remember one thing: you can never make a mistake. Just have a great time clicking, clacking, and laughing your way or on the website called SeamedUP.com.